Where's the pond? Right here is going to water as well. So Joel, when you're ready for the water, let us know.
Okay. The idea that artists have an ethical responsibility is it's not something that's taught in most art schools. And it's not a cool idea.
One of the things that's so interesting about art, you never really know who it's going to affect and how it's going to affect them.
Art is one of the best ways to get this message out about the eco movement.
This current project that I'm working on, which I call Sycamore, is about a lonely tree, a very forlorn tree that was stuck in the middle of a giant parking lot at the Rose Bowl. No one really seemed to notice this tree. It was hit by cars. It was attacked by whole hordes of pathogens, and it wasn't able to defend itself against them because it was weakened by not having enough water or oxygen because of all the asphalt that surrounded it. I made 12 videos for video sculpture of the tree. The trunk, the roots, the branches are made out of the cables and this rubber housing that protects the cables. The monitors are growing out of these cables and they're functioning as the leaves, illuminating the sculpture. Headphones droop down like the fruit balls of the tree. The roots grow and they plug into the walls for their nourishment. The more that I learned about the tree, the more empathy I had to the tree. And I feel the understanding led to empathy and led to love. And that led to some kind of ethical responsibility. And so I felt it was my duty to try to improve the plight of the tree. I started by watering the tree with giant water bags. The tree was doing a little better, but the problem really was that there was a very small tree pit. It wasn't even to code. Then, of course, the tree was getting hit by cars because people didn't see this beautiful tree. And the tree was beautiful. This seemed to be this lone individual forgotten by society, and there was all this power around it that it didn't have access to. It didn't have a voice. I decided to take action by building a metal fence for the tree. The problem, of course, after I'd welded this fence together was how to install it around the tree. And that was a problem because, I didn't own the land, of course, and it wasn't necessarily a legal thing to do. I tried to get the city on the phone, but, I think people thought I was a little bit, I couldn't get them on the phone. So I came in with a jackhammer, which is a little harder than I realized. I was getting spun around a little. But I got them in. I had a generator, had a nice construction vest, and I enjoyed the process, and we got them into the ground and it protected the tree from cars.
I think it's so great when artists take matters into their own hand. They often have to do this, under the cloak of darkness or sneaking around, which I'm all for.
But I still wasn't satisfied with that because I was trying to figure out how to get the tree more access to oxygen. And that can only happen if the asphalt was gone. Through that process and the discourse that was being created around it, I was able to get an audience with the city and with the Rose Bowl. They agreed and they understood as yes, we need to rethink this a little bit. And they removed 400 square feet of asphalt and they put a permanent boulder barrier around the tree. So kudos to them. And the city of Pasadena totally got on board what I was doing, and there's been removal of asphalt around a whole bunch of other trees in Pasadena. And I feel it's precipitated some change, actually.
It's so great that artists are going out there and, risking arrest and whatnot to do these things, and then that people recognize them as models for changing the way we do things.
The other thing that I was interested in doing was the tree had a hard life. And I was interested in helping the tree by helping it reproduce because it started to become a love story. I made giant earrings for the tree, made golden leaf necklace for myself and other tree lovers. I like to think that some of that love generated a whole bunch of tree babies. February 7th, 2007 was the first tree baby. I was so incredibly happy. It started off as a project where basically it was me and the tree. And then it opened up to all these other people. We had students planting the tree and watering the tree. The dean watered the tree. Students made sculptures that built the plate of urban trees.
It's really this perfect example of blending nature with art, where you use elements from nature, in his case actual trees, plants, and you kind of combine that with everyday objects.
It works on solar energy, and it lights up like a disco ball at night. Because there were other people that became pulled into the project, there was an organic nature of how the project grew, just as a tree grows, I suppose.
Let me talk just a minute about what we're doing today. You can see this baby tree in front of me. It's a baby sycamore tree. And we're planting this one at Walden.
The kids really wanted the tree here. And the kids thought if there's going to be baby trees around Southern California, let's get one at Walden.
Our relationships to the environment are dictated by our culture to a large extent. It is almost a year and a half old. And I'm really happy we're going to have birthday celebrations here.
It's really important that art lead the example of what the world should be.
How we think about the environment will determine how we act.
I think that artists are in a unique position to create environmental awareness.
Style, design, you can always add that to anything you're doing, but the eco-friendliness, it's got to be in place first.
Not only is it good for the environment, but I also think it brings a good spirit and a good sense of ownership to the community.
This is a time when artists have a responsibility to step up and engage the issues in the real world.
Really good art is able to bring up these issues and make people think about them and maybe hopefully rethink them.